Sorry about that. Hello, welcome to another webinar of the OpenLM core functionality. Today, I will walk you through over the core product of OpenLM. So let's begin. First of all, we'll explain the whole core functionality of OpenLM. We will demonstrate the main 6 report of OpenLM. OpenLM has more reports, but we will show you the main ones. And of course that we will go over all the graphs, all the charts. We'll go over all the important stuff in those reports. Now, a quick recap of what is OpenLM and how it's configured on your system. So basically, OpenLM is a system that lets you monitor all your different license managers and view them in one place. Either statistical information, current activity, if you want to know procurement information, if you want to predict the amount of licenses that you need, if you want to get insight into your data, then the OpenLM core product can help you do that. Besides that, the OpenLM core product offers some limited management capabilities, but a whole lot of reporting capabilities. So basically, the core OpenLM system is a reporting system which monitors your license managers. It gets much more complicated than that, but this I will save to another webinar called the extensions webinar, which we will talk about how OpenLM can become a management system, not only a reporting system. But let's begin. Let's show the core product. So you probably have a license server. You have a few of them. You have one with MATLAB, one with Autodesk, maybe CATIA, maybe ANSYS, whatever you choose. We have 27 different license managers that we support, 27 types such as DSLS, FlexLM, LMX, pretty much all the market leaders. Now, on the license server, you simply install the OpenLM broker. It's a simple, just click next installation. Everything is configured automatically. And the broker sends data to the OpenLM core. The OpenLM core sits on any network server you choose. And workstations can send data to the OpenLM core, like the OpenLM broker that sits on the license server. The agent can sit on the workstation. But again, the agent is optional. Also, the OpenLM broker is optional, meaning that you can do fine only with the OpenLM core product, but we suggest to use broker and core to start with. You get extra functionality if you install the OpenLM agent on the workstations. So once you want to view your data, you simply connect to the OpenLM core using a link, using a web link. You can open it up in Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, and just view your data from any device connected to this network server. Now that we know how OpenLM is configured on your system, how it's spread across your system, then let's see what it actually gives you. So first of all, as we've said, OpenLM gets your whole system, all your license servers, and shows you in one place, in one interface, all of them. Doesn't matter which type. If it's FlexLM, if it's DSLS, if it's LMX, if it's NVIDIA, if it's Altium, doesn't matter. you'll see it all in one place. And all the reports, you will be able to see them, to generate them in the same place. So just to show you, I have two systems here. I have the live system, as you see here. I have people using right now. And I have my client system, which enables me to show reports, real reports with real data, not emulated. And here you can see that this guy, this client, had 109, almost 200 license managers. And you see all the different types. You see FlexLM, BetaLM, RLM, FlexLM, LMX, and all applications which are managed by those license managers are supported by OpenLM. So any application which is monitored and its licenses distributed using one of our license servers is supported. Now let's go back to the live system right here. And what are we seeing here? We're seeing a few different license managers. I have ArcGIS, Autodesk, I have Siemens, and I have a few more. Microsoft, Notepad, App Manager. These are extensions. I'm not going to talk about them, but just know that you don't have to stick with the floating licenses for OpenLM. We can also track your named licenses, node-lock licenses, standalone licenses, pretty much any type of licenses, as long as it's not a cloud license. Now, this is the license server screen. It shows us everything that's going on right now. So for example, if I see Autodesk and I see 15 underused, so what is this? Let's click on it. Once we click on it, we get the currently consumed licenses report. Currently consumed licenses. So I see that James is currently consuming a license, Sophia, Cooper, Sarah. I see that they're from Group USA, Sales, USA Marketing, China Development. I know that they started on this time. They're using this workstation. Their session duration is some 8 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. Some just started a minute ago. See the license type, of course, as I said, it can be named, it can be floating, whatever you choose. And this shows me what's going on, who is using, and what's going on with my licenses. But if I click here on the quantity, then I'll be able to see all the different features, not who is using it, but the different features I have. So under this vendor, I only have one feature, and I have total 25 licenses and used 24 licenses. Again, if we click the used, we can see who is actually using, and it's directed to this feature. So I see all the 24 users. If I want to see procurement information, I can just click view, and then I can know when my licenses will be expired. You see here it's permanent, when it started, when it was issued, the feature name of it, and pretty much everything that I need to know about my licenses. Now this is nice. It shows us in one glance the whole system. So in one glance you can see I have here, I'm having a problem. I'm having 100% license utilization. Well, because I only have one license here. But you can see that this is stressed out. This one and this one, the ArcGIS and Autodesk, are about to be maxed, about to be maximized. So it's telling me that I probably need to do something. As an admin, every admin has its own way of dealing with this. You can release licenses, close workstation, talk to people, whatever you choose. OpenLM has also automatic options of releasing licenses remotely, but this is again part of the extensions webinar of OpenLM. Today we will concentrate on the core product of OpenLM. Okay, so besides seeing what's going on right now, you're probably interested in reports. You probably want to know your situation. You want to know statistical information. You want to get statistical insight. So for that, we have the license usage report. And this report, as you can see here, it shows you the amount of licenses on the top here, so 70 licenses, and the amount of concurrent usage on the bottom. Concurrent usage meaning overlapping usage. So how many licenses I have in the pool and how many licenses have been checked out of the pool together. So what can we tell from this graph? We can tell that at one point we bought more licenses. We almost doubled our license amount. But the usage went down. So right around here, it was very underused. The license, well, we had like 60 licenses not used ever. But as time passed, we see that the usage grew and grew and grew, and more people used this application more and more until it was actually maxing out right here. And around the 13th, it was peaking, it was maxing out, meaning that all licenses in the pool were taken. Now, what else can we see here? What else can we get out of it? Besides seeing how far we are from maxing out our license. So let's change to this example and take a look at a weekly fluctuation of the usage. So we're taking a deep look right here. It's now aggregated by hours. And we can see that during the day, all the sessions are happening. So licenses are checked out, peaking at around 2 p.m., something like that. And during the weekend, we see pretty low usage. And at some point on the 13th again, we can see that it was actually maxed out right here. But we can get another view, the heat map view, as you see here. This shows you a visual representation, like a top-down view of what's going on during the week. So on the left, the y-axis, you can see the days, March 1st, March 2nd. On the x-axis, you can see the hours, so 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and so on. And what insight can it give us? So remember that I said that weekends are pretty low. During the day, during working hours, are pretty high. So the heat map gives you a better representation of that. So you see that working hours, like 7 to 4, are pretty filled. They are represented in dark orange, colors of dark yellow, and you see the usage of it, the percentage of it on every second. And you can also understand that the weekends are pretty much green. So if the weekends are pretty much green, that means not a lot of usage during the weekend. So most of the usage is concentrated to the working hours of the week. Now, what happens after the license was actually maxed out? So let's take a look here. The 13th, we see that at 2, it got actually maxed out, the licenses. So no more licenses left. What happened then? Then users started getting denied. They tried to get a license, but their software was not able to, so they got denied. For that, we have the denials report. Now, the denials report, it shows you aggregated denials by any column that you choose. So here you can see all the denials by group, Now the group here, group name, group number, it's because it's a client database and we cannot show the group name, so we change it to group 1, to group 2, group 3, and so on. Also, the users will be encrypted. Now, group 167, for example, had 10 denials for the time span that I chose for this feature. Now I can also aggregate it if I want by user, and I see the exact user that got denied and how often and how many denials. I can even show during the day what are the most denied hours. So I see 1 o'clock, for example, is my most denied hour for this period. Now, this gives you a lot of insight into what's going on after you've maxed out your licenses. So when it peaks right here, denials start appearing. But OpenLM has something else. Besides giving you the ability to group it however you'd like, besides giving you the option to select the denial type itself, so if it's license server error, limit reached, or whatever, besides showing you the table right here, you get all the data in table form, you can also show true denials only. You can select to show true denials only. Now, what does that mean? What is a true denial? Let's say that you're an engineer and you try to get a license. Now, your system, your application went to one server and got denied. So it automatically went to the second server and did get the license. So the first denial for that person, do you care about it? Do you want to see it? Mainly no, because he did get the license eventually, so you don't care about that denial. He was not really denied. So this is the show true denials only checkbox, which you can choose if to show with true denials or not. So here with the true denials, I see 39 licenses. If I click apply, I see around 79 licenses, which means I had a lot of false denials. Now, this is great. It shows you, as we've said, what's going on right now with your system, a live feed of all your system. It shows you how far you are from maxing out your licenses, what's going on with your licenses during the week, if it's spread out correctly, meaning that if you have a license server that follows the sun, for example, meaning that it serves the whole world, then you should be able to see this all red, meaning that you're almost utilizing like almost everything every day on every time zone. Now, after the licenses got maxed out, we've said that you'll be able to see that in the denials report. But again, none of these show you how many licenses you need. So if I have, I don't know, 39 denials here, does that mean that I need 39 licenses? No. If I see that I'm not really peaking right here most of the times, and I do have a lot of downtime, well, how many licenses do I need? Nothing here gives you a concrete number. If you're looking for that, we have the license utilization report, which gives you exactly that. It gives you a concrete number of how many licenses you need. So first of all, what is this report? What is it showing us? This report shows us the amount of time in percentage spent on each concurrent usage level. So let me remove the aggregation. So no licenses used was like 16% of the time. One license used 10% of the time. Two licenses used together around 9%, and so on and so forth. But we can show it aggregated, Because in order to pull 2 licenses, you must pull 1 first. And in order to pull 3 licenses, you must pull 2 and 1 licenses. So it's aggregated within it. Now, why is that good? What can we understand from this graph? Okay, the amount of time in percentages spent on concurrent usage level. Okay, great. What can I take out of it? Well, we can set the quality of service line. What is quality of service? Let's say that you're okay with the fact that 95% of the times users will get the license, meaning that you're an engineer, you try to get the license, meaning that you open the application. So 95% of the times you will be able to start working, and that's it. 5% of the times, like 5% out of 100 times, you will get denial. You will get a denial and you will have to wait a bit. So if you're okay with 95%, you can just simply set it here, and the QoS line, the quality of service line, will tell you that you need only 45 licenses. So I have 70 licenses, total number of licenses 70, but I only need 45. Now let's say that I'm okay with 90%. That means that I need only 30 licenses. Now that's a huge reduction in license amount. That's less than half of the licenses that I have, meaning that I'm just overspending. I'm just spending a lot of money. 40 licenses, every one of them can cost up to like $10,000. It's just wasteful. So next time I go to buy a new license, I'm empowered. How come? Well, usually when I go to the vendor, he tells me, oh, you bought 70 licenses, maybe you buy 70 more licenses, maybe buy a bit less, maybe buy a bit more. He's trying to play with you and he's trying to sell you what he wants. But if you come with a concrete number, even if you come with a license usage report like this and you tell him, well, I'm not using it most of the time, so he will point it out. He'll always say, oh, you're maxing it out here. Oh, and you're maxing it out here. So you do need more licenses. And you won't have concrete evidence and concrete data, and you will just say, okay, and take it. But this report allows you to tell the vendor, no, I need 30 licenses. I might get 35 licenses just to be on the safe side, but I need only 30 licenses. Nothing you can do can persuade me otherwise. Now this gives you a lot of power when confronting your own organization. Now, how is that? Let's say that Bob comes up to you and he says that he needs 20 licenses for his users. He's starting a new project and needs 20 licenses. So you can run the test and see that, hey, Bob, from your other projects, I see that your users, they didn't really use the license all that much. It was very underused within the working hours. So I ran the test, I ran the report, and you need only 10 licenses, not 20 licenses. So I'll allocate 10 licenses for you. And this way you have 10 licenses left to play with if John comes and wants another 5 licenses or 10 licenses. So this gives you a lot of power, as the project leads themselves cannot tell you what you need. You tell them what you need. So this is a very, very powerful report. Now, if we want to take a look at it from another direction, like this shows us what we need. How many licenses do we actually need? But this report, licenses not in use report, shows you what you don't need. Now it sounds a bit confusing, but let's take a look at this one, for example, Navisworks. This report tells me that I never used Navisworks, ever. I have Navisworks as a part of a package, It comes with AutoCAD, it includes Navisworks, it includes different versions. But I know that next year, when it's time to renew my policy, to renew my licenses, I really don't need Navisworks. No one uses it. So I can come up to the vendor and tell him, well, this time I don't need Navisworks. If you can give me a smaller package, which is cheaper, then great. Or maybe you're not using any of the features you get in a package and you see that you only use one feature. So you can tell the vendor, I don't need the package, just give me the feature. And that's it. And this way you can pay less. So if this report tells you what you need, this report tells you what you don't need. Now, moving on to another report which is pretty important. Let's say that you have different organizational units and you want to bill them by their usage time. The license activity report not only shows you the sessions, meaning who used what, when he started, which group he's from, what he used, the total amount of usage time, and pretty much everything about the session. You can also group the usage and see how long they have been using. So if I group it by columns, I'll see that the USA broker team had like 100, almost 100 hours, marketing 112 hours, and so on. This way, I'll be able to charge different organizational units or different projects if I choose. We also have a project here. Now you can group it by the user, by feature, by group, by whatever you choose, whichever dimension you want to group by. And basically, just to give you a general sense of what is OpenLM, I think that this is pretty much covers it. This pretty much covers it, as these are the main reports of OpenLM. So OpenLM has many more reports. We have the dashboard, we have the, let me show you, we have the active users report, we have many more reports, project, group usage, feature usage. We have many more reports in OpenLM, but I really don't want to overload you with information. I just wanted to show you the best reports that convey the message of what is OpenLM and how it can actually help you save money, how it can actually help you avoid audits, and how it can give you a lot of power. It can empower you when confronting the vendor, when confronting your own users. Now, there are a lot more to OpenLM, more reports, more management capabilities like different alerts that you can set. You can set different roles to different users. You can connect to your LDAP. You can access OpenLM via Windows authentication, many different extensions, many different added functionalities to OpenLM. But as far as the core product goes, this is basically it. It's a great tool that gives you a lot of insights about your past, present, and future, your statistical information, current status, and trends, which you can pretty much know what you need to buy. And that's about it. If you would like to ask questions, please do. You can. I will stay here for a few more minutes to answer your questions. So if you have a question, please use the question box of the GoToWebinar tool, and I'll be happy to answer. So go ahead. If you want to see something, if you want to know something, if I went too fast on something, and you want me to expand on it. So just go ahead, just write down in the questions. I have a question. Recommended seminar to see reports generated. Now we have another webinar, as I said, of extensions and extra functionality, but we also have another webinar that deals with the insides of the reports. We go deep into the report, meaning that we try to combine between the reports and see the insights, because up until now it's pretty disjointed. It's license usage, denials, okay. Now how can we bring all those together? How can we make them a cohesive picture of what's going on in your system? So this will save for the workshop. There's a report workshop. So you're welcome to join. Just search on our website. We have a link for it. It is, I think, this Thursday or maybe next Thursday, we're having that workshop. I have a question from John. What about standalone and user-based license reporting? It's good that you asked. We have an extension called the OpenLM App Manager. Now, the App Manager allows you to track standalone licenses, named licenses, node-locked licenses, even applications that simply do not use any license. Whatever you choose, we're able to track it as long as it has a process running on the end user workstation. Will this webinar be also online as a YouTube movie? Yes, we upload this webinar to our website, to YouTube, and also to our Vimeo site. So if you go to YouTube or Vimeo, just search for the OpenLM channel and you'll see us there. Well, you'll see me there. Now, of course, that we have all the other webinar recordings there. So, of course, that you can also open up the reports workshop or the extensions. And it's about half an hour as today. So you can just sit down, watch it, and see what else OpenLM has to offer. You're most welcome, John. Philip is asking if it's live now. Yes, it's live. Once we finish the session, we will upload it to the website. Philip is asking for another recap on the utilization report. So let me quickly go over it. The license utilization report shows you the amount of time in percentages spent on each concurrent usage level. Let me remove the aggregation and I'll explain again. So no licenses pooled, never. It was about 16% of the time. Only one license pooled was about 10% of the time. Only two licenses pooled was about 9% of the time, and so on. Together, they all form the 100%. Now, if we show it aggregated, then it will show that one license about 84%, two licenses about 73%. Now, how come? If you want to get to two concurrent licenses, you must be at one concurrent license, because you pull one and then you pull another one. So you must go through the one. If you want three licenses pulled, then you must go through the one and two. So this is why it drops like that. And the quality of service line shows you your service when servicing your engineers, your end users. So 90% means that they will get the license 90% of the times, and they will get denied 10% of the times. And for that, you will need only 30 licenses. Now, this can be this can be at a better resolution. So let's say that we want to consider only the working hours. We don't want to take into account other hours of the day. So we see it changed a little bit. If we want 90% now, so it shows us that we only need 51 licenses. Now this is still a big reduction, and we're only looking at the working hours. We're only looking at these peaks right here. And with these peaks, we see that we don't need all the licenses that we have. But again, if you're interested with these kinds of insights, then I suggest to go to the YouTube or Vimeo OpenLM channel, and you can view the reports workshop webinar, and it goes over just that. It combines all the different reports and explains everything about the reports, all the options, all the filters. You can either watch that or join the webinar that will have, I believe next week it will be. You're most welcome, Nelson. Oh, Philip, sorry. Okay, guys, so if none of you have any questions, I thank you very much for joining me. I hope it was informative. I hope you understood a bit better what OpenLM does. Keep in mind that we have a few more types of webinars. We have workshop webinars. We have these general overview webinars, both on extensions and on the reports as you've seen today. So you're most welcome to check out our other webinars and join them as well. Okay, thanks guys. Have a great day.